Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My beautiful women of Qur'an now, welcome to another video. This is your Ustaza coach, Binta Umm Yahya, and in this week's video, we are doing basically, again, the subconscious mind. We're going over how we are all programmed. And I think many of us don't realize how programmed we are. And subhanAllah, I want us to have more awareness about this programming that all of us are experiencing, and so that we can actually be more intentional about how we want these programmings to work. We want them to work in our favor, right? Because the programs that we have downloaded since a very young age, from a long time ago, we just keep reprogramming the same thing over and over. And many of us may have experienced this, how, some of us may have come across the same type of men, maybe married 1, 2, 3, and every husband seemed to be the same husband. Like, why am I falling for the same type of men? Or, you're going through the same type of experience over and over, and you don't realize why are you experiencing this over and over. And that's because you are seeing life subconsciously through some programming that is telling you this is what is good for us, even though consciously you may think, no, this is not what I want. This is not what's good for me. And especially if you've had trauma in the first 2 years, if you had some type of neglect of emotional presence, you have associated certain things, and based on that, you are following a certain program. And this is why, they were able to determine a pattern. And this pattern is, subhanAllah, it's mind-blowing. Like, since I've studied this thing and I've been coaching sisters, like if I coach a fearful avoidant, it's just mind-blowing to me how the patterns that I've studied, they're just so obvious. They are there. I discuss anything with an anxious preoccupied, and I'm seeing the patterns. So the fact that they are patterns, it shows that these programs are set at an early age, and they were able to study them. And it's just like, check. So even if you're not insecurely attached, I think I've discussed the different attachment styles, and I'll post a video if you want more information on that. But even if you are securely attached, there has been throughout your life some type of wound that was not healed, trauma, or very difficult situation that you may have gone through, because this is life. And you have associated some things with that, have some limiting beliefs that are not serving you. And those limiting beliefs are still running the show at the subconscious level. And you may think that you're being intentional with your behaviors and your decisions of how, what, when, who, where, why, but the subconscious programming is overriding it. Okay? So how do we figure out what is the programming that we have? So first we have to observe what behavior is going to really be a great indicator for you. So your behavior and your triggers. When you get upset, why do you get upset? Why is this particular situation upsetting you? Why aren't you feeling at peace right now? Why are you feeling restless? Why are you feeling palpitations? Why are you being worried or anxious? That is actually, at that very moment, be curious. Tell yourself, subconscious is working and it's telling me something. I need to pay attention. Emotions are messengers. They will tell you exactly what's going on with you if you care to pay attention to it, if you're not trying to suppress it. Because at the end of the day, this, like you not knowing those programmings, it is going to affect not only your work, your career. It is going to affect how focused or distracted you are. It is going to affect your ibadah. It is absolutely going to affect how you view the commands of Allah, how you view the do's and don'ts, how connected to the book of Allah you are. Everything is going to be affected. And you know who else knows what's going on with us? Shaitan. Shaitan studies us very well. And so he knows. This is why he's waiting on us. And, and he wants to come at us from all these different angles, because he is going to study us and make sure that he approaches us from different angles, different weaknesses that we may have. And so if we are not aware that, we tend to disconnect from somebody because, we're dismissive avoidant and they said something that triggered a wound, and we're not able to manage ourselves better, then we are going to behave in a way that may not be pleasing to Allah. And the waswas of shaitan is just going to reinforce that. So let's gain control back. And how do we do that? We first do that by observing, by making dua to Allah, and by reprogramming the false beliefs with what is true about us. And where do we get the truth from? From the Qur'an and from the Sunnah. This is where we get the truth from. So what we'll do is first grab a piece of paper and try to write down what are the things that distracted you this week? What are the things that bothered you this week? What was your dominant thought? What was your dominant emotion? Where did you feel good? Why did you feel good about XYZ that happened? What was the need that it filled up for you? And little by little, you will get to know yourself a bit better and understand the deeper whys behind your behavior. And with the help of a coach who has certified in this, you could absolutely start being more intentional and less programmed, or replace it with programming that is going to be beneficial to you in this life and in the next. So what is your homework this week? This is a brief video, me telling you that we are all looking at the world through our own lenses. It's like we're all wearing glasses. We just need to make sure the glasses are beneficial to us. And so I can help you do that with the Freedom Coaching Package, or the Qur'an Plus coaching with the Fatima plan or the Maryam plan. And we are going to sit down together and look at how our deen, how the Qur'an is helping us make decisions that are more in line with who we are, how we gain clarity about ourselves, about our life, about who we are, and how we're able to free ourselves from these programmings that are not serving us and thrive to be better Muslimah bi'idhnillah. Any good is from Allah, any mistake is from me, and may Allah forgive me. Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. I will see you inshallah ta'ala in another video next week, where we were actually going to break down what I talked about in this video in more depth bi'idhnillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.